Family, you're in for a great show today, and boy, it is going to be a treat. We have Mr. Hillman Evans in the building for us today. He's going to show us how we can create happier, healthier work environments. Seek your success in the morning. It's coming. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, successors? Welcome to another episode of Speak Your Success in the Morning. Family, today is July 8th, 2025, and y'all already know it's a great day to be alive. We are here today, and y'all, it's Teach Me Tuesday. And y'all know we like to bring guests on and teach something and get to know them not only better, but allow them to help us get to know better about their craft and what they do. So that's what you're in for today. But before we even get this ship rolling, before we get moving, got to bring out my co-host. Come on out, producer Britt, talk to the people. How you feeling this morning?
What's up? Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday.
Happy
Welcome to Speak
Tuesday.
Your Success in the Morning.
Get that girl some water and she don't know how to act.
Oh
Wow.
my gosh,
That's
I was cracking
crazy.
up. We love a good flub. We love a good flub.
Oh wow!
Oh
Oh,
my
that's why you're
gosh.
doing. I thought you talking about our college kids that we got.
No, I'm talking about you.
College kids.
I'm talking about you on the
Okay,
teas.
speak your
Yeah.
success in the morning.
Speak Your
Yeah.
Success. Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey, hey. Speaking of success looks different some days than others. You understand me?
Yes. Okay,
But you
you
got to
got new
keep going.
headphones over there.
Oh, you see me though.
I
You see
see
me.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, just busted them out the box this morning. Yeah,
Okay.
we're
We like
excited
that
about it.
Amazon Prime. We like that.
Yeah, Amazon
Yeah.
probably said, "Wait, do you want it between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. or you want it between like 10 a.m. and 1 p.m.? Let me go ahead and get that between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m.
I
please."
love the
Yeah,
I love the 4 a.m.
yeah,
between 8 p.m.
yeah,
slot. It's yeah,
yeah.
that's when my jump rope came in during that time.
Girl
Woke
started
up.
jumping. Hey, woke up, didn't know she was gonna get a workout in. At the end of the day,
Yeah.
came home and got it in.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
what's up.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
okay, well,
that's
we
what's
got
up.
a thick show today. So,
Come
let's
on,
go
thick.
ahead and get let's go ahead and get started with straight from the source. So, here you go, John.
Most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. So y'all thinking about just some of the events that's been happening in the news today. I want to read this text in Ecclesiastes, and then I'm going to pull out a certain scripture of the text, and then we'll go down and we'll break it down and spend a little bit more time on it. But this is Ecclesiastes chapter 3, and in this text, Ecclesiastes, the text that is being well, it just breaks down different areas or different states of life. So let's go ahead and just get into it. And I guarantee you're going to see yourself somewhere in this text, or something is going to apply to you. The text reads, "There is an appointed time for everything, and there is a time for every matter under heaven. A time to give birth and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build up." Okay? A time to reap and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to throw stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to shun embracing, a time to search and a time to give up as lost, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear apart and a time to sew together, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war, but also a time for peace, a time for war and a time for peace. Family, the reason why I want to just break down this text is because there's so many emotions within this section of text. And as I was reading it this morning, the part that really stuck out to me was just understanding, because even there's even a version to where it talks about there being a time to mourn, right? A time to mourn, a time to heal. And knowing the recent events which have happened with our family out in Kerrville, and knowing about all those lives that have been lost, and just that just terrible act of, nature, right? This I feel is a time to where those who are mourning, we don't want to challenge how they're mourning, right? Too often when people are going through something, and too often when people are faced with whatever that particular act or that thing is, people want to tell them how they should feel. People want to tell, man, no, you shouldn't feel like that. You should get over this in a day or two. You should get over this in an hour. You should move on. But we have to be careful, right? Because just like the text tells us, there is a time for every matter under heaven. And understanding that there's a time to heal. The text tells there's a time to heal. So we need to allow people the time that they need to heal. And we also need to allow them the time that they need to mourn and process and grieve and go through what they're facing, because they're worse than you trying to. Because I remember in my life, there's been times where people have tried to force me out of certain times that I was feeling down, feeling out. It's like, yeah, John, just snap out of it, just come back, and you'll be good. And then the times where I tried to just come back out of it, then I wasn't ready. I wasn't as fully available emotionally. I didn't have the feelings nor the capacity to operate as my natural self. So what I want us to just think about here is understanding there's a time for us to laugh, but also the text says there's a time for us to weep. And there's a time for us to be silent, and there's also a time for us to speak. So let us in this season, right? Let us identify that if it's time for us to be quiet, just like we talked about yesterday, uh, in straight from the source about discernment. If there's a time for us to be quiet, I pray that the Holy Spirit would just let you know, shh, right? You don't need to say nothing here, right? You can let this conversation pass. You hear people talking, you don't have to join in. You can just move on, right? Just know it's time to hush. If you have something positive, something uplifting to say, then yeah, this could be a great time to share that. But if not, then you might want to move on past, blow on past. But y'all, this is something to where anytime that a large group of people is affected, anytime that there are lives that are lost, anytime that there are multiple families involved, we don't want to minimize that moment, right? We want to make sure that they get adequate time to be recognized, right? Even the text says here, because I'm gonna go back to verse 5. It says, "There's a time to throw stones and a time to gather them." Right. So that lets us know that there's a time to build, because when we get broken down, we have to rebuild. And rebuilding looks different for some than it does for others. For some of us, it could look like doing some of that mental building. For others, it could look like, hey, I need to get to the gym, do some of the physical building up. But either way, we want to respect how people build. We want to respect how people move. We want to respect how people grow in whatever it is that they need. A time to kill, a time to heal, a time to tear down, and a time to build up. Today, I want you, when you get some time to yourself, when you get some time to yourself, right? Might need to sneak away for a minute at work, or might need to cut away from your partner or your spouse, your kids, whoever it might be, whatever it might be. But just take a little second of time, and I want you just to comb through this text a little bit, and I want you to see and ask yourself, what season am I currently in? Am I in a season right now to where I need to heal from something? I've been hurt from something. Am I in a season to where I'm being called to give birth, to birth something, to birth an idea, to birth a vision, to bring something to life that I've been carrying so long that I know is going to help and going to really elevate people? Am I in a season to where I need to laugh? I need to not take life so serious. My friend Mahari, he would always say, because we came to a point to where me and him both were just taking life super serious. And we had to realize, like, it's okay to laugh, right? I know you're working hard. I know you want to be successful. I know you're grinding. I know you're trying to figure it all out, but it's okay to laugh. So are you in that season to where you need to laugh? Are you in that season to where maybe it's time for you to mourn or time for you to dance. Family, this has been straight from the source. We read today from Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1, and we took you all the way down to verse 8. We're going to be right back with more Speaker Success in the Morning after this quick commercial break. Do you want to feel confident in your skin every day? Introducing Skin Rituals, a luxury home-based skin studio that specializes in hyperpigmentation, acne, and personalized treatments for every skin type. Owned by solo esthetician and registered nurse Courtney Durham, Skin Rituals is all about curating facial treatments designed just for you. Hydrate, brighten, nourish, and soothe your skin with expert care and cutting-edge techniques that promote natural healing. Whether you're looking for a relaxing facial or a transformative chemical peel, Skin Rituals offers results-driven treatment tailored to your needs. With over 7 years of experience, Courtney's goal is to help you safely achieve the healthy skin that you deserve. At Skin Rituals, we believe that taking care of your skin is an investment in your confidence. Book your appointment today and leave every session feeling grateful for the choice that you made to take care of yourself. Skin Rituals, because your skin deserves the very best. What's going on, family? Welcome back to Speak Your Success in the Morning. We're the 8th day into the month, but we're 11 minutes after the hour. You understand me? Man, Speak Your Success in the Morning. We're here. Like a good flub. My producer Britt, like a good flub.
Sure you're not tired?
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm good. Well, I'm a little bit tired, but I'm good,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Ain't no
yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
Ain't no point in talking about being tired because don't nobody care. You understand me? So,
Well, okay.
that's the
Well,
truth, though.
yeah. Before we bring our guests out, I just want to talk about how we were talking about Malik Beasley offline and just how outrageous all of his bills are.
Oh my God, what a transition. Go
I
ahead.
know, sorry. And so, yeah, because I was like, I know I reported it a couple weeks ago about the whole gambling investigation, but I never, I guess, new stuff came out. But the whole
Mm.
situation that is happening within the money that he owes. So $26,000 to the barber, $34,000 to the dentist. And
Jesus.
then the dentist. I mean, what are you doing? But most of the time when you have insurance, the cleaning is free. So
He ain't getting no cleaning, okay?
what else could you
Yeah.
be doing in your
Boy
mouth?
getting them veneers.
I thought you got
Hey,
to pay for those when
it's
you
a
get
whole
them.
movement. Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe you can
I
put
don't
them on
know.
layaway. Put them on pay as you go
Mm.
plan.
Putting
Maybe.
teeth on pay as you go is crazy. And then what's the other one? Oh, owes the apartment complex. Well, the apartment building 21,000.
I got you next week. Don't worry about it. I got you next week.
No, that's what he kept telling his barber.
I know.
Because
That's what I'm saying.
but
Oh, I got you,
these,
bro.
yeah, it's like, put it on my tab, put it on my tab. And then,
I'm good
they'd
for
be
it. You know I'm good
flying
for it.
them barbers out and be doing all that stuff, Jonathan. So that's crazy.
I mean, if I'm sure that boy probably flew the barber out, said, "Yeah, man, I'm gonna get you next week, but right now, hey, I got this spread for you. We got the party going.
Wow.
You can come to the party. I can see that happening because random,
Really?
but because I knew a tattoo artist, boy would
Uh-huh.
be tattooing people,
Uh-huh.
and he would do it for shoes. He'd do it for clothes. And I think he
Mm.
also did it. I think he
Anything but
also did it for some
cash.
favors. I think he also
Anything but
did it for
cash.
cash or did it for
Oh.
yeah, yeah.
So but I know. I just wanted to bring that up because I know it's Teach Me Tuesday, and the only thing I want to say on Teach Me Tuesday is stop gambling. And if you can't afford to gamble, you don't need to be doing it. All you prize
Stop caring.
pickers out there and all you, yeah. I
Prize
mean, I'm
picks.
sure the average person, I don't know, actually. I really don't know. I know people be putting their house up, or when they go to Vegas,
Man,
it get crazy, or just in general when you start gambling. But,
that
um,
rush.
yeah, I just had to say that. I am disappointed. I keep
Wow.
thinking about it,
Prize
Jonathan. I
picks.
am so disappointed in
Shout out to
Malik.
Joe Budden. Shout out to Drewski. Prize picks on them commercials. They,
Oh
they
my
got him.
gosh.
They're the real influencers. They influenced him.
Yeah, they really
Okay.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, he was naive and got sucked
You
in. The
silly. All right, bring our
gambling
guests
lifestyle.
out. Teach me Tuesday.
All
What we got?
right, man. Teach me Tuesday. Teach me Tuesday. Like I said a little bit earlier, man. We got Mr. Hillman Evans, and this is my guy, man. Me and Hill. Well, first, let me talk a little bit about Hill. So, not only does he have his bachelor's degree in sports management that he got from Livingstone College, and he got his master's in communication from Queen's University out of Charlotte. But yeah, he does so many things. He has his hands in so many things. he ultimately has this overall goal to where he wants to help others with leadership advancement and capitalize on creating happier, healthy work environments. Producer Britt through research and design and development. Without further ado, man, Hillman Evans. What's going on, Doc? What's going on? How you feeling, brother?
I am doing well. How's it
Welcome.
going? Thanks for having me.
Man, glad to have you on. Glad to have you on, Hill. Because I mean,
Mhm.
when we first met, well, it was
That was
building the block out here in
2018,
Dallas.
2018.
Yeah. It was building the block at a real estate event, and I never liked to network. I tell producer Bill all the time, never liked to network. But I seen you, and I was like, he just looked like a cool cat. He just looked like a cool cat. He looked cool, Britt. He looked cool. I pulled up on. We started talking, and then you
Mhm.
started sharing me about like the work that you're doing at Paul Quinn, or that you were doing at Paul
Yeah,
Quinn at that
yeah, I
time,
was on that both. Yeah,
and yeah, bro. And then since then, you've delved more into leadership and really helping people around that.
absolutely. Yeah, that's been one of my primary goals. I started doing those things in undergrad and at
Mm.
Okay,
Livingstone.
okay.
Actually, we were having it was called a Blue Bear Mentor Program. And
Hmm.
that was for incoming freshmen who were basically getting acclimated to the college life. And I
Mhm.
was a
Okay.
mentor, and they were mentees, and we were just learning how to be a person that can help whenever they need it.
Mhm.
Even if it was just an ear, if it was some feedback,
Mm.
if it was guidance in certain areas, and that's when it really clicked for me. But
Mm.
it started it started early for me. So yeah,
That's good. That's good.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Especially just with mentoring. Me and producer Britt were talking the other day because there's a couple of young guys that we mentor
Uh-huh.
loosely, if you will. And
Mhm.
then producer Britt was just asking them some questions yesterday, and it's just amazing to see the impact that one can see from taking that time with somebody and just asking questions here and there and just seeing where you can provide feedback. And different things like that. But here, I kind of dove in and moved a little fast. So where are you originally from? We didn't even
Of
talk about where you
course.
originally from.
I'm
Mhm.
originally from North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina to be exact.
Mhm.
Carolina boy through and through. But Duke Nation, if we got any
Oh.
basketball fans out there, Duke Nation, baby. But yeah,
Nice.
Carolina
So,
boy.
so you're happy that Cooper Flag is here.
I'm happy Cooper. I'm happy the whole starting five got picked up. I mean,
Wow. Okay. Okay. Nice. 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 You going to
Mm.
some games? You a Mavs fan?
I'm not a Mavs fan,
Hmm.
Uh-oh.
but I will, go just for the sports
Right.
entertainment.
Uh huh.
And now
Yeah.
they got flags, so I'm just gonna, go check them out,
Yeah.
see how things are looking out there, and
Yeah.
just
I
support as
definitely
much
want to
as I
see him
can.
play too. Yeah, I feel you on that.
Yeah,
Okay. Nice.
he's like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I see. Yeah.
He definitely like that. He definitely like that. So here you started talking a little bit about mentorship, and you talked about leadership getting started early with that. So when people approach you and they ask you, or you're at like a networking event or something like that, and they say, "Hill, what do you do? Like, what is your answer there? Because I know you do a lot of things and everything like
Yeah,
that. But
that's
what
true.
do you do, Hill? Help us out."
Mhm.
Man, that's probably one of the funniest questions I'm asked, honestly, because sometimes I don't even know how to answer it
Mhm.
in one response. If you ask my wife, she'll say, I don't know. He works with people. He gets a chance to meet people from all over. And I'm like, yeah,
Mhm.
that's true.
Mhm.
And then I always tell people I'm in the people development area, right? It's such a unique space. But when I get a chance to break it down, if we're talking about in sectors, I am in the nonprofit space as a senior
Mhm.
director of programming for Volunteer Now. I am in the educational world as a adjunct professor for Abilene Christian University,
Mhm.
and then I'm also, and I guess you could put this in a nonprofit, government, corporate, and educational world as a consultant
Oh,
with Dream
okay.
Builders Communication. And so I've gotten a
Mm.
chance to get my hands in all of these areas, but they actually all work together when it comes to leadership development.
Mm.
And so that has been one of my primary goals, anyways, to make sure any and everything I'm doing is under the umbrella of leadership development.
And for the people that don't know, and including myself, what is leadership development?
That is a broad space, and so
Mhm.
when you say what is leadership development, um, that's kind of just like the umbrella. And under
Okay.
leadership and development, excuse me,
Mhm.
there are a few things that have to happen, right? You have to be able to have a group that will uh, that you are leading in some capacity.
Mhm.
Then you have to have a mission or a oriented goal that you're going towards for that group to want to follow you,
Mm.
right? You have to have some sort of tactics that come within how you're leading that group to the goal. And then there's a process of being able to, it's kind of like being able to adjust, right? Being able
Mm.
to maneuver in a different way for that group if things are changing, especially when it's a group, right? That means it's multiple people. And so being able to adjust and being able to be flexible with what people need to be successful is very important in the leadership development. So for me, it's being able to utilize those four different things
Mhm.
and then somehow capitalize in my approach to whatever that person may need. And
Gotcha.
that's a process that I've always just continued to try to figure out how
Mhm.
do I elevate it for myself
Mhm.
to then be able to give to the people or the people that I am working with, the person or the people that I'm working with.
Gotcha. Okay. Understood. Jonathan?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, and I mean, as we're hitting on this with leadership, I want to hit this one question, and we're about to hit this commercial break.
Mhm.
But the question I have, just as you're talking about leadership development, and I know that this is an area that like you're extremely passionate, helping others like identify their vocation and leadership. So ultimately, so what does that mean, and how can you help people begin to identify their own leadership style?
Oh, that's a good question. One of the best things that you can do, right? And when you're trying to figure out your leadership style and how are you approaching who you are, not only as a professional but as a personal development type of thing, it comes from starting with who you are, like who you were, right? And when I say who you were, that can be something as simple as, the things that you were interested in when you were growing up, and why were you interested in those things, and how did you maneuver yourself to be in position to be a part of those things. Like what gave you that spark, right?
Mm,
And I truly believe that greatness is within everyone, and learning how
hmm
to maneuver around whatever that greatness is a process. And I'm the person that's going to help you figure that out. So I'm gonna ask questions. I'm definitely going to figure out, what's the angle I need to come at you to approach it. When it comes to finding your passion, that is not an easy thing. You have to be willing to get uncomfortable with that sometimes, because
Yeah.
uh, you can be conditioned to say, "Oh, I have to do these things in order to be successful," when that may not be the thing you actually want to do. And then once you start to tap into the thing you want to do, that's when you start to see, oh wow, like this is where my passion lives, and this is where I'm able to elevate and be successful at the things that I'm interested in. So
I love it. I love it. I love it. Family, I hope you all are enjoying this conversation. I know I'm learning more a little bit about leadership development over here on this side. And we're going to get ready to take this quick commercial break. But when we come back with Hill, we're going to dive in, talking a little bit about a healthy work environment and how that can be created. In just one moment, right here on Speak Your Success in the Morning. Looking for an exciting workout that's not only fun but makes you feel alive? It's time to step up your fitness. Extreme Hip Hop with Treese, that's your answer. This isn't your typical workout. Extreme Hip Hop with Treese is an energizing step workout that combines simple moves with fresh beats, both old and new, creating an atmosphere that makes fitness exciting. With a focus on all elements of fitness, cardio, muscular conditioning, flexibility, and balance, you're guaranteed to burn calories and get addicted to the energy. Extreme becomes your safe space, which is a welcome environment where everyone is accepted. It's where you can let go of those worries of the world and focus on getting healthy. Ready to get energized? Join Extreme Hip Hop with Treese today. All right, family. Welcome back to Speaker Success in the Morning. We're currently 25 minutes after the hour. This is your favorite morning show. You got myself, you got producer Britt, and today y'all have the pleasure and the privilege of having Mr. Hillman Evans, and also we
Ozzy.
have Ozzy, our favorite
Ozzy.
our
Ozzy.
favorite
Oh, that's
third co-host.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, our favorite third
good morning,
co-host.
Ozzy.
Yeah,
He
producer
pops
Britt
in
always
every
like to
now and
sneak
then.
him.
No,
Yeah.
he likes to sneak himself in. He's literally right here on my lap. So, I mean,
Uh,
he's just telling y'all that he wanted to be in the camera. But I'm enjoying this conversation, learning about leadership. What we got next, Jonathan?
Yeah. So yesterday, producer Britt, I mean, we like I said a little bit, that we had the opportunity to have some dialogue with some of our younger friends, if you will, our younger friends, and you did a great job of asking them some questions. So I'm gonna actually kick it to you. I'm gonna kick it to you. I'll
Oh,
let you take this question. Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
just
Talk to us.
I'm not really a mentor. Okay, but as a adjunct professor, what do you believe our younger generations are craving most from today's leadership models?
They're craving support,
Hmm.
support, and out on the first support and then guidance. But guidance looks a little different nowadays,
Mm,
just because we are in this social media
mm-hmm.
era. Technology is a huge
Hmm.
thing right now, where
Oh yeah.
guidance can look uh, a lot different from how it used to look
Mm,
from even when I grew up. And
mm,
I was just having this conversation yesterday with a friend about how nowadays, the next generation, they have information at their fingertips,
mm-hmm.
and that's hard to sometimes get them to understand, where it's, yes, you are able to get this information at the click of a button, but for you to be able to comprehend it and work through it and process what it's actually saying, that's a whole different thing.
Right.
And so the support part that they are looking for is a person that is willing to work with them in understanding their thoughts, their ideas,
Mm,
their approach to different things. And once you create that space for them, it opens up doors that, one, help you continue to learn, and then two, gives them an opportunity to kind of see it from different angles.
yeah. Yeah. I agree with that for sure because both of them were saying, you have your parents, kind of like a no choice type leadership, under their house, under their rules type thing.
Mm.
And then you have people like Jonathan and myself where you kind of managers and we're just older than them, so they just naturally learn from us. And then you have all the kids that are on the internet, like Kai and the
Oh Lord.
18-year-olds that are millionaires and gazillionaires right now, and they're saying,
Mm.
well, it's
Mm-mm.
easier for us to look at the people our age, and they're making all this money and da 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 da
Yeah.
da. So it's like
Yeah.
and they were very honest, not to say like they were easily influenced, but they were like, we're
Yeah.
more accustomed to listening to them when it comes to something with leadership, because they're our age and they have what we want right now. Whereas, maybe listening, I mean, obviously, when you're 18, 19, you don't want to listen to your parents anyway. So, someone like Jonathan or myself, telling them something, they might think about it, process it, where they see Kai doing something, they're like, yeah, I want that backpack right now. And
That's it.
yeah, and it's just, yeah, it's just wild to me. Yeah.
I mean, you're basically, what I do is I help them figure out how to build something that's sustainable.
Hmm.
Because yeah, it's going to be tough to go against that 18-year-old or 19-year-old that's making millions of
Hmm.
dollars, because when they see that, it's something that they want, right?
Right.
For sure.
What I try to help them build out, yes, it's cool to see the things that you want, because I was in that space also.
Hmm.
As a young adult, I see things I wanted, and then I just trying to figure out, how do I get
How to
to it?
get it
But also
right.
try to give them things that they need, right? That they'll
Hmm.
be able to build with. So yes, we can go towards the things that you want, but let's give you some practices that you can actually use and
Hmm.
that you'll
Mm.
need as you continue to grow, because we're trying to build something that's sustainable, right? You're not going to
Right.
be 18 or 19 for the rest of your life.
Hmm.
And so by the time that you're 30, you don't want to burn out. And it's like, okay, well, how do I figure out, what do I use? Well, we look at three different angles, and I use
Hmm.
these for a lot of areas in my life. We look at your skill set, we look at your character, and we look at
Hmm.
your experience.
Okay.
Mm.
Nice. Nice.
I
Okay, yeah,
like that.
yeah. Yeah, we
Yeah,
had a
yeah, yeah.
great conversation. We talked about friendships and, growing
Man,
apart with your friends.
this is true.
Sometimes you mature faster than your friends. What do you do in those type of situations? So,
Yeah.
it would have been cool if Jonathan, recorded it, but, it was nice. Yeah, it was cool.
No, everything don't need to be recorded, bro. Everything don't
Oh, that don't
need
need
to
to
be
be
recorded.
recorded. My bad.
Not
Okay. My
everything. Nah,
bad. My
you
bad.
because
Okay, it's on
then
you.
that sometimes that can taint the moment. You know what I'm saying? That
Mm.
can taint the moment.
Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Got it.
They didn't sign up for
Okay.
this lifestyle. They didn't sign up for this lifestyle.
Oh my
But
gosh, Jonathan.
but anyway, so I want to slightly pivot, because I know Britt was just talking about with youth and with young adults, but also Hill, with the work that I know you do as executive life coach, like what would you say has been some of the differences between coaching and managing, and how can leaders better show up for their teams from what you've seen?
Yeah. So one of my main, I guess you could say, practices that I am teaching, especially in the executive area, right? The executive area that I'm in,
Mm-hmm.
it's learning how to lead instead of managing. And leading takes time, right? It takes an opportunity for you to see, okay, I have this team, or I have this staff person that, they have it, right? They have the character that I can work with on, right? They have some level of skill set,
Mm-hmm.
and the only thing they may not have is that experience, right? And so how do I help? Can you hear me?
Oh, yep.
Do you want to feel confident in your skin every day? Introducing Skin Rituals, a luxury home based skin studio that specializes in hyperpigmentation, acne, and personalized treatments for every skin type. Owned by solo esthetician and registered nurse Courtney Durham, Skin Rituals is all about curating facial treatments designed just for you. Hydrate, brighten, nourish, and soothe your skin with expert care and cutting edge techniques that promote natural healing. Whether you're looking for a relaxing facial or a transformative chemical peel, Skin Rituals offers results driven treatment tailored to your needs. With over 7 years of experience, Courtney's goal is to help you safely achieve the healthy skin that you deserve. At Skin Rituals, we believe that taking care of your skin is an investment in your confidence. Book your appointment today and leave every session feeling grateful for the choice that you made to take care of yourself. Skin Rituals, because your skin deserves the very best. All right, all right, all right. Here, so I lost you there for a minute. I'm gonna run that question back one more time. So
Okay.
you ultimately, you ultimately serve in multiple capacities, like I said before, and you also serve as executive life coach. So, what would you say has been the difference that you've seen between coaching and managing, and how can leaders better show up for their teams?
Hmm. Hmm.
So in the executive area that I'm in, majority of the clients or people that I work with are executive level, right? And so what do I mean by that? They're your CEOs, your executive directors, your superintendents. And so they have, a lot of the time, they have a more mature experience in who they are as a professional.
Mhm.
Personally, they are a lot older. And one of the goals for me is to teach them how to lead and not manage. And that comes from just being able to attract to the person in some way, right? And that can be something as simple as just positive reinforcement, showing them that you are aware of the things that they're doing, that you actually are supportive of some of the things that they're doing, and that giving them that reinforcement of saying, "Hey, I see what you're doing, but hey, let's try it this way." Or have you
For
thought
sure.
about doing it this way? Right. And so, in other
Mm,
words, that's leading someone instead of coming to them and saying, "Hey, why aren't you doing it this way? Why haven't you done things the way that we have put them in place?" A lot of
mm,
times, that's what managing looks like. Another small thing that people can do when it comes to leading in a different light is basically just having that leader to leader development. That's
mm,
me and you taking the time to understand who you are as a leader. Because again, I truly feel like everyone has that uh, within them. They just need some help and guidance a lot of times to bring it out. And that can come from regular feedback, that can come from just giving a perspective on something, instead of saying, no, this is the way it has to be done, you can say, hey, how about let's try it this way, let's look at it in a different way. Or one of the easiest questions, and I think that people don't even think about this when they're at a higher level, when you
Mm-hmm.
ask them, so what would you do,
Hmm.
that means you are hopefully asking their opinion in a space that they normally wouldn't get a chance to speak on. And when leaders do that, that shows the staff, the team, the subordinate, whoever you want to call it, that you have some sort of, um, you know, I guess you could say you have some sort of.
You got some moxie in you. You got some,
It's like you
yeah.
you you believe in me at some level, and you say,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, I mean, they're giving me this opportunity. Sometimes you mess up, right? I've been given
Mm-hmm.
that opportunity. They asked, "What would you do?"
Hey,
And my answer
yeah.
was trash. It was just like,
Mm-hmm.
"Yeah, this is what I do."
I feel
And
you on
then
that.
they gave me some really good feedback, and I was able to kind of reverse and kind of maneuver some of the things I said, which we
Mm,
ended up moving towards the objective. But I didn't know what to
nice.
do the first time, but that was great practice, right? That's how you
Mm-hmm.
build
Sure.
that momentum. That's how you build that muscle. And so
I
being
love
able
that.
to do that for your team, for your staff, is something that is needed, especially nowadays with the next generation. And like I said, the executive level, they are now starting to understand I have to kind of lead from the front
Mm-hmm.
and from.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Mm, it's good.
it's not a situation where I could just say, "Hey, this is the task. I need you to do it." No,
Right.
you got to walk
Yeah.
alongside them.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
we don't live in that world anymore. Yeah, because I was just reading a story the other day, guys, and this woman, she gets the job at the post office. And
Okay.
did y'all see this? No? Oh, okay. She
No,
gets
no,
the
no. Talk
job
to
at the post office. She, they record everything. So she's going in, clocking in, first day of work, da 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 da. And if you don't know, when you work at the post office, yes, it is manual labor. And so she walks in, she videos, she goes into her spot wherever she's supposed to be to separate the mail or whatever they have her doing, and she quit. She quit on the first. She quit on the first
Wow.
day. She quit on the first day. She said, "I am not. I did not know I was about to be doing no manual labor,"
God bless her.
and it's just like you didn't know. First of all, you didn't know what you signed up for. Second of all,
Apparently.
I guess
That
it's
part,
just like that just made no sense. And then
yeah.
I guess to your point where you're saying like the C suite, you have to lead from the front and the back. It would just be I guess that would trickle down to hey sometimes it's manual labor, but sometimes it's this or sometimes it's that. But
Mm.
just that leadership would have helped her out for sure because quitting on your first day is crazy. And the post
Some
office is a
people,
really good job.
it's a really good job, and I think some people don't understand the process that you have to go through in order to sometimes, reach that success that you're looking for.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
is
Yeah,
literally a process. It doesn't
for
just
sure.
fall in your lap, right? And
Mhm.
people today, unfortunately, we live in that instant gratification world where I
Right.
can I can get this quick,
Mhm.
whatever
Mhm.
this is. And I'm just like, that does not roll over when it comes to the professional world a lot of time. And I
Yeah.
had to learn that. And
Yeah.
I
Man,
had to, if you want to expedite your time, right, into being successful and what that looks like,
Mhm.
you have to put the work in, right?
Yeah.
It's not
gotta
a
put the
not a
work in.
simple process. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Totally agree. What
Yeah,
you got,
so
John?
we're gonna get ready to dive in these rapid fire questions, but just before we
Ah,
do,
okay.
just so successors don't get on me, just so because I led up to it before we went on commercial break. But here I got to ask you: so how do you define a healthy work environment, and what are 2 to 3 ways that a team can begin to cultivate one today?
Hmm.
one of the ways to make it a happier, healthier environment is it's a few things that you could do. I'm going to start off with the
Hmm.
self, right? With
Mhm.
the self, you have to build out what is your
Oh.
social and emotional skills look like as a professional. You have to be able to read the room and understand the people that you're working with. And that doesn't just mean uh, who they are in the professional world. So, building that informal communication, basically, of how are you doing and actually caring about how someone is doing. That's one of the ways that you can kind of build out what that relationship looks like within the office. I'm not telling you to be best friends. I'm not telling you to, get all in people business. I'm telling you to show that you actually care about who they are as a person, and
Mm,
not as a tool to do a task. And so
I like that.
building out with that, what those social skills look like, as far as just saying, hey, how's your day going, or how's the week going, or what are some of the
Mm,
things that you're working on that I can potentially help you in. That builds out the happier and the healthier workplace. The next part of that is giving actual leadership assessments. When we're talking about a small SWOT analysis, we're talking about a 360, to where you're giving people the tools so that they can see who they are as a professional. That then gives them an opportunity to grow towards the areas that they need growth in. Right? If
mm,
you're just saying to them, "Hey, I need you to do this task. I need you to get this done," they don't actually build out a uh, potential mentality to be uh, a good professional. They just become good
mm,
at whatever that task is, because that's
Mm.
something that they do over time. So if you give them other tools as far as leadership assessments, that's what I mentioned before, good feedback, just positive reinforcement, those things, that's another element that creates a happier and healthier work environment. And if you're
Mm.
consistently doing these things, I'm not saying every day, but
Mhm.
if you're doing these things on a weekly basis where you're just checking in with them, just seeing how they're
mm,
doing, giving them some good, communication, I'm telling you, that will help build out a
Right.
person that wants to be in that environment, not just because
Mm.
of the pay or the location looks cool, but the people that they're working with, so they're not bad, right? I
Yeah.
can work
mm.
with
Yeah.
them, right? I can
Yeah.
be there, because a lot of times that's what comes to play when people either leave a job, or you know they just act crazy at the job. It's like, well, I don't like
Right.
this environment. You're not doing
Yeah.
nothing for me. They just telling me to do this stuff, and it's just like,
Mhm.
okay,
Yeah,
okay,
that's
well,
Yeah.
let's
that's
see
true.
what I
Yeah, and it
can look like.
matters. Yeah, it definitely matters for
It
sure
does.
because you spend most of your time at work anyway. So, yeah.
Man,
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, so it matters.
my,
Jonathan,
Exactly.
my,
rapid
my.
fire.
Wow. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bang, bang. Here we
Oh,
go, Hill.
man.
So, we like to have a little bit of fun on the show. We're going to go ahead and dive into our rapid fire questions geared to you today. A little bit about leadership, sir. All
Okay.
right. So, of course, as I ask the question, I don't want you to think about it. Just shoot from the hip. So, Hill,
Let's
are
do
you
it.
ready?
I believe so. Let's do it.
Let's go. Okay. So, give us 3 words that describe the kind of leader you strive to be.
Transformational, joyful, peaceful.
Love it. What's the best leadership advice you've ever received and from whom?
Wow. Man, that's good. Don't. That's a really good question. I would say one of my uncles told me, uh, you know, uh, being a leader is like a flat tire on a car. You can go pretty far with it, but I can guarantee you, if you don't change it, you won't get far enough.
Hmm.
All right, uncle.
Shout,
I like
shout,
that. I
shout,
like
shout to Unc. Shout
that.
to Unc.
Yeah, I
Shout
like
to Unc.
that.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. And then lastly, if a young professional asks you, "How do I lead when I'm not in charge?" How would you respond to that?
Just by being consistent to whatever your objectives are, and then being able to ask questions and uh, not feel tempted to let that imposter syndrome take over. It's a process of just learning how to ask a question, and learning, what does it need to look like for me. Um, I know it's a rapid response, but it's more to that for me. But I'll just stop it right there.
Got
For sure,
it.
for sure.
Got it.
Man, Hill, bro, thank you so much for taking the
Thank
time to
you.
coming on
Yes.
and for rocking with us. And please let people know where they can find you and how they can connect with you, please.
Mhm.
Absolutely. First of all, thank you too for having me. I really appreciate it. This is a great platform. I wish you nothing but continued success. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
For those that are looking for me out there, you can follow me on Instagram at Hilly IV. That's HILLEIV. You can follow me on LinkedIn at Hillman Evans IV. Not really on Facebook. The website thing, didn't want to build that out either. But those two areas that I just mentioned, LinkedIn and Instagram, are my biggest platforms. And I would love to connect and talk.
Cool.
All
Thank
right.
you. We appreciate you waking up and doing all your things before you had to get on. We know it's a
Absolutely.
6 a.m. So appreciate it for sure.
Absolutely.
Jonathan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we're gonna go ahead and come back with a little bit more speaking success in the morning. Are you a new or budding entrepreneur looking to set your business up for success? Profit Mode is here to help you navigate your entrepreneurial journey with expert education and services. From tax planning and bookkeeping to selecting the right business structure, Profit Mode has you covered. They'll even educate you on how to properly set up your business for building credit so you can grow with confidence. Profit Mode's mission is to provide you with the tools and guidance you need to establish a solid foundation for your business. Whether you're just getting started or you're ready to take the next step, we're here to support your goals. Let Profit Mode help you turn that entrepreneurial dream into a reality with the knowledge and services to back it up. Your success starts with the right foundation. Contact Profit Mode today to get started. Welcome back to Speak Your Success in the Morning, and I think we have our other co-hosts trying to enter the chat. Producer Britt, I'm gonna pass it over to you for a quick second.
That baby is strong, y'all. Okay, so what's up? How y'all doing on this Teach Me Tuesday? That was a great conversation by Mr. Hillman. And just learning about leadership styles, learning about executive leadership styles, learning how to talk to the youth and just continue to be a great leader and take your time with the youth and you got to teach people, check in on people, make sure that they're living in a make sure they're working in a good environment. And because ultimately we all want to go to work to be happy, and we all want to come home happy as well.
True
But
story.
what's up, baby Jones? What's up?
True story, man. But look, Britt, speaking of that, I'm gonna send you. I sent you another clip.
Here he
I
go,
sent you a clip
y'all.
since we're talking about youth and since we're talking about leadership. This has nothing to do with leadership at all, but it's just
Okay.
something about like how the generations are, like how there's that there. It's just like a resurgence when we come to start talking generations and about how Gen Z is changing and recreating
Okay, I might
or
have to have to.
re-envisioning
I'm gonna have to Joe
the
button it and play it right
the work environment. Bless you, son.
here. Oh,
Joe Budden. Okay, we live, y'all. We
hold on.
live.
He
We
be doing the
live.
same thing. So
Yeah, we live.
okay, there we go. Hold on.
Have y'all heard of micro retirement, the Gen Z latest trend? Let me share it with you if you haven't. This is an article from Fast Company. It reads, while retirement typically occurs after completing a career and saving and investing for it, a new trend is emerging among Gen Z career professionals called micro retirement. Micro retirements involve taking a 1 to 2 week break from work every 12 to 18 months. In other words, vacation, PTO, purchased time off, paid time off. Why are we making new words for words that already exist and we already understand them? Vacation.
Yeah, vacation.
Yeah, it's called vacation, y'all. It's just called vacation.
Yeah, and I
But
guess for them, they're like, okay, well, I have my PTO, but I just need to not come to work for 2 weeks.
I mean, it's giving gap year, except at work.
It's giving.
I don't want to work.
Yeah, I mean,
I
none of
don't
us
want
want
to
to
work.
work.
I mean, I'm not mad at y'all. I'm not mad at y'all feeling how y'all feel.
I mean,
You
they
know,
just
you
be
gotta do what
making
you
up
do.
stuff. That's all. I think that's the thing that, people really get frustrated with the whole Gen Zers about, is that they just be making stuff up. Yeah, they be
Did we
making
make
stuff
up stuff? But did millennials made up stuff too though? We was doing putting the
Bless
Gucci on the
you.
Air Force Ones. Bless you, son. We putting the Gucci on the Air Force Ones and the Burberry on the Air Force Ones, making the
Is it?
clear Air Force Ones.
Those are
That's making
sold
up
in
stuff.
stores, but we're talking about professionalism. No, we as millennials, we were just told to go to work, get it done, get a job,
Get a haircut.
get as many
Don't get
jobs as you
dreads.
can. First
Don't
of
get
all,
go to college, get a degree, get a job. That don't fly no more. I
that
wish
don't fly
somebody.
no more. You can't do
I
that
don't
no
know.
more.
I don't know
Cause
how you can be in college
I used to
admissions
have
and
2
tell people to
jobs.
go
At one
promote
summer,
you.
I had 3 jobs, and I was
Man,
just
say.
working. I was just working and working and working and working because that's what I was told to do. That's how I was, hey,
I, kn-
get as many jobs as you can.
Look, right here, straight up, what I'm gonna say. This is probably why I ain't been to a college speaking in a while. If a college brought me out, I'm not gonna say y'all need to stay in school. I'm gonna say you better find you a trade, baby. You better find you a passion that lines up with a trade, and that pay lines up with that grade. You understand me?
Well, you
Because it's
can't
time.
necessarily say you can't go to school because there's some people that need to be in school. We
No,
talked
no, no,
about
no, no,
that
no, 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 no.
yesterday.
I didn't say you can't go to school. What I said I'm not gonna tell them to stay in school.
But I'm saying some people have to stay in school to get to where they want to go.
I understand. I understand. I just said I'm not gonna tell them to stay. I'm just saying I'm just not gonna tell them to stay. That's all
So
I'm
if you're a
saying.
doc, if they want to be a doctor, you ain't gonna tell them to stay.
If they want to be a doctor, I'm gonna say do what you need to do to be a doctor. And if
Would
that
you
is
stay
school,
in
great.
school? You
I
can't be a
that's
doctor without school, Jonathan. Makes
Brittany,
sense of it.
I know that. I just said I'm
Okay.
not going to because we have to come to the place. Leadership,
I'm
mentorship,
trying. I'm trying to listen
We
to what you
gotta
say.
get to the place. Listening with your eyes. You want the people that when you be driving, you gotta turn down the volume so you can make that turn.
Right.
Anyway, so you're driving in the rain.
Mhm.
But what I'm just saying is we have to get to a place to where this next generation and even our own generation to where we have to start asking more questions and stop giving people answers. That's what I believe in, and I know you believe in that too,
Mhm.
because we're giving people answers and they're not going through the process to critically think and come to their own conclusion for themselves. So they're just doing what we did. Go to school, cool. Get a job, cool. Okay, so now I'm not feeling fulfilled. Now what do I do?
Right.
You can't help me out with that now.
Yeah, it's like the athlete that when they're done playing playing their sport and you're just like, what is life now? And they just drop you out. They just drop you off. They just kick you off the bus and you don't know what to do after
Hey, off
that.
the bus, don't know what to do, had a name. Now
Here your
everybody
bag
asking
and
you,
we out. We gotta go get
everybody
some
asking
more
what you
athletes.
got going next, what you got going on, and you
I
just
don't
looking at your
know.
feet and you lost. I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought ball was life. I thought I was gonna hoop forever. Well,
Right.
yeah, you better go get you 2K. Okay.
Yeah, right. And those people they turn into the coaches or they turn into the summer coach or the AAU coach. And that's fine. But
Nah, that's cute
yeah,
for a percentage. No. That work. No. Hold on,
some
Britt.
people know how to build that up.
That that work for a percentage though. It's a very small percent because
Right.
majority of them. If I asked you about certain All Americans from a little bit of time ago, you wouldn't be able to tell me where they at. I couldn't even tell you where they at right now.
I agree.
You
I agree.
got to build them skills up so you can get that money on.
Yeah, but as terms, just thinking about the clip, yeah, micro retirement, you just want
Micro
2
retirement is
weeks off.
crazy.
You just use your PTO, baby. That's all that means.
Use that PTO. But speaking of transitioning, speaking of giving people skills, Britt, I'm excited. I'm excited because yesterday I was able to lock in a partnership with a local high school. We're gonna be teaching some kids
Okay.
about
Oh,
podcasting,
we are?
giving them
Great.
some skill. Well, yeah.
You said
Oh,
we. Yeah.
well. I mean, you, yeah. Sure.
All right, great.
You can come in and guest here. You can come in and
Yeah,
guest here
yeah,
for a day.
yeah. Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah, it's always good. Oh god, oh gosh, now you don't want to speak. Okay, cool. But anyway, locked in a partnership, so that's gonna be taking place coming up in
You
September.
heard
I'm
me.
excited.
Uh-huh.
September gonna come fast, and gonna teach these kids about podcasts, get to pilot the
What
program.
school is it? Can you talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Okay,
No
ain't nobody
one's
doing nothing to you,
hurting
man.
you.
Nobody's hurting you, son.
No.
Okay, so the school is Cornerstone Crossroads Academy. CCA, and this school is for some people who they might have decided that school wasn't for them at one point. They might have dropped out the traditional high school
Oh, this
path.
is like a secondary school.
Yeah,
Is this
but yeah,
in?
they're still accredited and getting the opportunity to
Yeah,
circle
yeah,
back,
yeah.
and so this is gonna be dope. It's gonna be
Is
dope. I
this
had to
in
talk.
Texas or where is this?
Yeah, this is in Dallas. I
Oh,
had the
okay, good.
opportunity to talk with the principal yesterday, and we're even talking about how the students are going to get a credit or half a credit hour
Oh,
for going through this content with your boy, Professor Jones. Talk to me nice.
wow. Professor
Talk to
Jones
me
is
nice.
crazy.
Talk to me nice now. So so now shoot, I'm gonna find some company somewhere that's about to sponsor some mics. I'm about to find some company somewhere. I'm about to line it up, man.
Okay.
About to do this the right way. Britt,
All right.
this is gonna be big, man. If it's 4 kids, if it's 40 kids, This gonna be big, man. So gonna walk them through about 4 weeks. Gonna break down this whole podcasting thing, help them
All
cultivate
right.
that identity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Might do a little certificate. Might do a little celebration at the end. You
All
never know.
right. Love it. And you
Speak your
can do all that
success.
by yourself. Speak your success. That's nice. Mhm.
Wow. Do you want to help, Brittany? Oh my
I mean,
gosh.
I'm just putting it on live
Oh
on
my
air, so
gosh.
everybody can hear it and see
Wow.
it. But
Oh my
would love to
goodness.
see you do all that by yourself without your producer.
I I can do 4 speaking engagements by myself. I've done
That's easy.
that's what I'm really doing. That's basically what I'm doing.
Nah, you just said celebrations and certificates and this and that and da da da
I
da.
can't print a certificate.
You got a lot
Crazy.
going on over there.
Crazy. I can't print a certificate.
You
Crazy.
got a lot going on over there.
Crazy. What is
So
my son? So
yeah,
what? What's
yeah,
up?
we got 4 minutes. Give me something. What we got?
4 minutes. This boy done turned on the
He's
paper
doing it.
shredder.
Oh, gotta unplug that from the wall. Yeah. Oh, I know tomorrow is Wellness Wednesday. We're gonna have Giovanni on tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
Is that tomorrow? We're gonna have Giovanni on. Is that tomorrow? All right.
Can you still hear me? Oh, there we go. There
Is
we go.
Giovanni gonna be
Yeah,
on
yeah,
tomorrow?
yeah, yeah. Man, yeah. He over there tripping. We got Giovanni Ford on tomorrow. Wellness with Giovanni. She ultimately is going to talk with us a little bit about her lifestyle, a little bit about blending, a little bit about juicing, how she heals her body through these natural elements, which is amazing.
Hey, I guess I'll have
we're
to
gonna have
blend
Giovanni on
me
tomorrow.
I guess I'll have to
Looking
blend
forward
me a
to it.
juice. Bring your juice to the show tomorrow. I'm excited. But
Yeah, juicy juice.
yeah, speaking of juicing and just wellness in general, so something changes every week with my workout. So this week I have stopped putting pressure on myself, and I said my workout days need to be my least work days. Like I can't work out when I'm just like extremely tired. Like I just can't. My brain can't do it right now. So therefore, yeah, so I'm going to work out Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. That's easy. Saturday morning, Friday and Saturday morning, easy peasy. And then
Nice.
and then Wednesday, right after the show, I ain't got to be in till 1:30. And then Thursday, hit that when you come home, that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock slot. Just easy peasy. Oh, Jonathan left me. Just easy peasy, honestly. And so I'm just easy peasy when it comes to the workout. So that is what I was like, I gotta get this right. And then the Lord gave it to me yesterday. And then Jonathan, I picked up the book yesterday. I picked up The Mountain Is You, and I was on chapter 3. And right when I went in on chapter 3, it was everything that I needed to hear.
Wow. So are we going to be getting that content? That's crazy, because you told the people a while ago that you was working on something.
That's crazy.
I'm not bringing extra pressure, but
I think you are.
No, I just want you to catch the stray that you sent my way yesterday when you were talking about my headphones. Yeah, we on the tail end of the episode, so we might have lost a lot of people. So I
sent you.
now.
First of all, I said that offline. I said that offline.
I know. I brought it online.
Okay,
I'm coming for your head. I'm coming for your head. You said it offline. I got to bring it to the people. What happens in the dark should come to the light. Come on. I'm joking. I'm not gonna do you like that with the Bible. But
oh my gosh.
But
I started to pick
not,
that book back up. But yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up. You picked the book. I'm not gonna bring extra pressure on you. But we are eventually gonna get that content out, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, really from my perspective, a male's perspective, that I think it's gonna be really beneficial for not just women, but also even men and just other millennials alike, because you are an intellectual millennial. Marche is an intellectual millennial, and y'all have experiences that I think are really going to bless a lot of people.
And you really do have to separate
talk.
yourself. You really do have to say that, intellectual millennial or just an intellectual person, because there are some people out here, they are just not smart. And they don't have critical thinking. And I was told by my college professor, that Brittany, you always need to put on your resume that you are a critical thinker, because
that's a good point.
Yeah.
Come
And
on,
I
college
was I
professor.
was I was hearing that at like 19, 20. I was like, what?
If I only knew this 10 years ago. If
If
I
I
only
only
knew.
knew,
I could have been
Jonathan.
writing essays about this
Oh,
forever
that was the question that I
ago.
wanted to ask Hill. Okay, it was that. Was he gonna write a book about leadership? I was gonna ask him that, but
I feel like I talked with him, and I feel like he said that was something that he was considering.
that is something. Okay.
But
All right,
yeah,
y'all. Well,
yeah.
y'all have a happy Tuesday. We will see y'all here tomorrow at 6 a.m. with Miss Giovanni. She's coming out of the comments and she's coming on to the
The
screen.
comments said.
So super excited to meet her tomorrow. Super excited to have this conversation about juicing and natural healing and what to do and how to do it and doing it right. So
Going
super
down.
excited. I'll be bringing a juice to the show.
Going
If you're
down.
watching, make sure that you bring one as well. We'll be here at 6 a.m. and y'all have a good
Yeah.
day. Bye, guys.
Man, have a good day. Have a good day. Y'all, the final thought today is just like producer Britt. She gave it to us at the end of the show. Think critically today. Think critically about your relationships. Think critically about what you're eating, what you're putting in your body, what your workout schedule look like. Just think critically, y'all, because we have to think critically for ourselves, because if we don't, nobody else will. All right, family, we're out. I'm Jonathan Jones. That's producer Britt. This is Speak Your Success in the Morning. We're your favorite morning show, going live from 6 a.m. Central Standard to 7 a.m. Central Standard. And family, remember, all right? Speak your success, believe in your greatness, and continue to create the life and business of your dreams. Why should you and why would you live any other way? What's happening to your nose? You got a runny nose?